Hello, how are you going?
Thank you.
I'm after some meat that's not halal certified.
On the New South Wales North Coast, Kirrily Smith is spearheading a grassroots campaign against Islam.
Do you have meat that's not halal certified?
We surely do, yes.
All of this, pretty much?
All of it is halal free.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. Okay.
What were you
I
looking
think
for?
I'll get something for the barbecue. My primary concern is, and why I started Halal Choices as a website about 7 years ago, was because most halal certified foods are not clearly labelled, so the consumer is paying halal fees without their knowledge or consent.
Kirrily Smith's main beef with halal food is the fees associated with the certification process. She's concerned the money could be used to promote Islam.
It's the certification, the fees, where they go, who is benefiting from these things, and whether consumers actually need to be a part of that process or not.
Without any further ado, Mrs. Kirrily Smith, here today.
I do not want religious practices imposed upon me.
Kirrily Smith is a leading figure in the anti-Islam party, the Australian Liberty Alliance. Formed less than 2 years ago, the party claims thousands of members across the country. One of its most controversial policies calls for a 10-year ban on permanent resident visas for people from 57 Muslim countries.
We believe that that's where there is obviously a hotbed of extremists and fundamental Islamists who come out of there. It's not going to be the totality of solving the problems of terrorism or Sharia law or any of those things, but it is certainly a good place to start.
Muslim Australians who'll be watching this would say that only a small percentage of their religion actually involves extremism. How do you respond to that?
Of course, only a small, well, it's a growing number of Muslims that are involved in extremism.
Hi, I'm Kirrily Smith.
Kirrily Smith is facing a defamation suit brought by Mohammed El-Mouelhy, president of the Halal Certification Authority, over online videos that she presented for another anti-Islam group, the Q Society. Why are you suing Kirrily Smith?
To redress the wrongs that she has made. When you make false information about a person, untrue, exaggerations, then I think I have every right to sue her and to sue everybody that has supported her and paid for her video.
He claims Kirrily Smith and the Q Society defamed him by voicing suspicion that halal certification could fund terrorism.
Halal certification is an industry and it is bringing in few $1 billion. You know, last year I think it was about $13 billion. And it is a requirement by all the Muslim countries.
She says halal, or the halal system, is funding Muslim mosques and education programs. Is this true?
What I do with my money is my business, the same like everybody supports their own faith. So why is supporting my faith is wrong and supporting other faiths is right?
What he does take issue with is the fact that she refers to instances of him being suspected of engaging with terrorist organisations.
Jeremy ZIMET has been closely watching the case and says the new frontier for defamation law is online.
It's important for observers to realise that there are consequences for posting publications online, whether it's on social media or review sites, and at the, I guess, extreme end of those consequences is court.
I think the ones that are making division in the society are the ultra-right. Because I've lived here for 45 years, never had a problem with anyone.
Kirrily Smith's opinions and political aspirations have caught the eye of conservative figures within Australian politics who will speak at a fundraiser to pay for Kirrily's court costs.
I'm backing Kirrily Smith because she's raising legitimate concerns that many members of the public share around halal certification, what the money behind halal certification actually goes to.
Well, I think it's very important that Australians feel free to express sincerely held opinions on matters of public interest. And I have the feeling that If Kirraly loses this action, it sort of throws a wet blanket of apprehension over public debate in Australia.
You speak about people having the freedom to say what they want in Australia and it should be more open, but I understand you're actually filing for defamation against Mohammed because he called you a racist and a bigot. Is that correct?
Yeah, I can't talk about the details of the court case, but there's ongoing social media posts that have been continuously defamatory of us, and we see that that's the best way to bring these issues to the public.
So by calling you a racist and a bigot, how's that different from your criticisms of Islam?
My criticisms of Islam are based on the fact that the Quran and the Hadiths and the other texts incite violence, incite oppression of women and gays and other minority groups, and I can back that up. He says he will back up his claims that I'm racist and a bigot, and we'll see what he can do, but I'm very confident that I'm not a racist nor a bigot. I'm simply criticising an ideology. I'm not criticising a people group or individuals.
George Christensen is urging Kirraly Smith to join the Liberal ranks in Canberra. Last year, she ran for the Senate for the Australian Liberty Alliance, but the party failed to get a seat, gaining less than 1% of the vote.
If she's ever inclined to join the LNP or the National Party, I would encourage that, and there may be a future for Kirraly in Canberra.
The Australian Liberty Alliance doesn't enjoy much support at all in the electorate. And a very good example of that was the last federal election.
Tom King has been charting the rise and fall of fringe groups like the Australian Liberty Alliance.
They will come and go, that's right, these minor parties, these minor far-right parties, because of failing support, and also they'll be seen in many parts as being a little bit irrelevant or been poorly led.
Do you see a future in politics?
I really honestly can't say at this stage. I will always commentate on politics. Whether I'm actually in the fray, I'm not sure. I have this very big court case.
Mohammed El-Mouelhy is also preparing for the court case, saying there is no chance of reconciliation. So would you meet with Kirraly Smith?
I will meet her in court.